Hi everybody, welcome to this month's edition of the SINoALICE World Creator Podcast. Today we will be talking about events and the banner train that's happening in SINoALICE right now, and the multiple banners that has popped up this entire month. Joining us today we have Chiaki Aki, we have SkyJLV, and we also have Spot from Fort Misery Gaming. We also have a special guest coming up later when we're talking about the flow of events, who will describe to us how JP events work in SINoALICE, how events work for the JP version of SINoALICE. Yeah. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves? Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Spoot for Misery Gaming. We're just hanging out, doing stuff.
SkyJLV here?
We've done y'all have done like 3 of these so far, haven't you?
This is the third one, I think.
This is the third one? Okay, it's my first.
Welcome.
My first.
G'day mates, Chiaki Aki. Just climbed out of bed, so I'm gonna start sounding like this, but have fun.
And Sky?
Wait. SkyJLV here. What's up, guys? I stream a variety of gacha games. That's pretty much it.
And hi, my name is JJYMayo. I'm a variety gamer YouTuber streaming on Twitch. You can see all the links for everybody in the chat if you do !crew. Remember that if you're also watching the stream, you can do !Sinno, so apply for a chance to win 100 Twilight Crystals at the end of the campaign period, which I think is actually ending soon. I think.
It's like the next couple of days.
Oh. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Now, it's a good time to get in.
Yeah.
You have a very high chance of winning.
That is true. Yeah. I mean, like 100 crystals.
Yeah, I've always been really surprised by how many people don't enter the thing. Like, worst case scenario, a couple thousand people get in and they pick, 10 winners a month?
I think it's more than that, right? Or
I don't remember what the exact numbers are. I never really paid attention to it. But
yeah.
it's free money, guys. It's free real estate.
I know. It gets you a third of the way to 10 pulls. 10 pulls?
Gotta be in it to win it.
Exactly.
Right, it's like the lotto. You can't lose money if you're not spending money.
Alright. I guess we can get started then. Okay. Wait, let me change the text for it. Because the first thing we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about the events. Yeah. So one of the questions that I have for all of you, and one of the questions I also asked the other world creators as well, Delta responded, so I probably will read out Delta's response afterwards, is basically like asking the global community and like ourselves, like what is considered like a major event, because we know that because you know how recently we had the summer event, the first summer event, which in my opinion was considered a major event because it had like 2 banners, more classes, we had a medal event, and then following after that we had another quote unquote major event in the form of the Yukata event, and now we have a third event right now, which is the Gem Company Idol collab event. I don't know what is considered a major event for you guys.
So I think the thing you gotta break down is like there are different versions of events. So what we look at as a major collab/event is going to be anything that has different medals than normal. So like anything that uses monthly medals, I would argue is just a regular thing. Like you're gonna see them in reruns. They will eventually come back around relatively quickly, within 8 to 9 months after they first show up. You'll notice we are starting to see rebounds of older events, older conquests, older banners. Not to say that you ever really need to pull on them, as power creep is absolutely a thing, but we also have like shooting galleries that they try to do once, like we've seen them once every quarter so far, I want to say.
It's been one after another recently.
Yeah, like we had, I think, 2 kind of recently, but that was only because they were edged really weirdly together.
Oh, it was 3, right? Because it was Rosen Maiden and then Nier and then
Well, Nier was like 2.5 months ago.
yeah, and then like
And
there's
then-
another one, right?
Yeah, the shooting events they try to do quarterly, and then you have like guild events, which are a little different.
We had a metal event followed by a shooting gallery event, and now it's another metal event. Right now?
Yeah,
I
we're
think-
probably going to see at least 2 metal events a month. If I were going to be like throwing a dart at a dartboard and saying that's it, like 2 to 3 is going to be the average going forward, unless they hit a content drought. Which, given how quickly we're getting collabs out of sync from JP, I don't think we're going to be running into like a drought anytime soon.
Yeah. What? Well, Delta also answered the question as well, and Delta's answer for that was major events are anything that would generate hype. For instance, collab festival events, like the recent shooting gallery event, holiday events. For the most part, yeah, as Spoot was mentioning, we are getting 2 major events a month these days. Of course, you can also consider Grand Colo as a major event, but you already know that that's coming every single month. So, it's
I think another one is probably kind of the story. Like whenever we get unlocked with a new story, I feel like they tried to make it big, but as a player, it never feels big. Is kind of how I see it. Like it's supposed to be big, because like, oh wow, there's a new character or a new story, but at least for me as a player, it just never felt as big as I would say like a collab.
yeah, like most of the story that comes out, especially let's say for example, like Rapunzel that just came out recently, I'm just like, oh, okay, Rapunzel's here. Let me just finish her story real quick. And then that's it. It's like it's something that's like, pretty much only enjoy for like a short period of time. And then after that, you just kind of forget about it. So, there's also the armor
The
events
issue with
too.
like all PvE content in SINoALICE though is like once it's done, unless it's a rerun that gives you like either bonus crystals or something, like you're probably not going to do it again.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. I feel like if there was any, I guess this goes into another question later on, but like if they do another rerun event, it's like I'll probably pay attention to it, but at the same time I won't like actively try to get all the weapons, because let's say for example, if they do an invader event, usually they also include like the weapons that give you a good multiplier. I just look at them and just like, okay, I already have this. I'm just gonna use that as fodder now.
Well, there are a lot of events that have new characters. Like the Nier one we just got was the second part of the banner technically,
Yeah.
and we had like new classes and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it really depends on them. Like older, like singular SINoALICE character banners, like Pinocchio Minstrel that comes with the tin event that everybody hated, that we got like super late for some reason. Like that will always be a problematic one because nobody's going to do that event again because the payout's really bad and it doesn't really bring anything to the table where you're like excited to get it.
I do think though that like if let's say for example they are doing a rerun event, like let's say for example a shooting gallery event or something, they should definitely add higher tier guild rewards, because I think I'm not sure about everybody here, but for the last shooting gallery, my guild hit the top guild reward within 3 days, and after that we got a total maybe like 6 mil points, but because there was nothing past like 2 mil, it's like, okay, can we get better rewards, please everyone's
Yeah,
trying.
for those kind of events, the shooting, I actually single-handedly farmed like 9 mil. And anyways, but for the thing is, it's like the PVE events doesn't really like add too much. If actually, now that I think about it, I think what is really a major event for global players is Grand Colo. Like I feel like because every other event you kind of finish it within like the first day, 2 days, 3 days. But then the Grand Call event, I feel like is the real like I feel like that's the real event in terms of like player participation, activeness, and things like that. Because the collabs they end within like you probably have you're probably gonna finish it in like the first like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Um, but and then you're kind of done after that. But I feel like the community is most active during Grand Colo or anything I guess that Colo related is.
Yeah.
PvP is the driving factor of the game, and that's just
Yeah.
been true since day one. So
Yeah, anything that like gives like a lot of Twilight crystals is what people will pretty much log in for.
well, the economy for crystals is also not great at any point, which is kind of the issue with PvE stuff. Like, we got a new chapter released and we got, what, 200 crystals out of it? Like, not even enough for a pull. Like, if you're gonna, like, release a character, like, give a couple of pulls, man. Like, you've got so many other gotchas that... Like, look at Dragalia Lost. Every time they have a major event, there's, like... They just, for their half-year anniversary, they gave out, like, 100 pulls.
Ah,
And admittedly, the game's in, like, going into its 3rd anniversary, and they have a significantly different economy, but, like you have to garner some amount of good faith with your player base, because you can't just rely on, like, hyper whales to keep the game afloat, because eventually they're gonna get bored.
true.
How about you, Chiaki?
I feel like there's definitely a pricing difference, I suppose, between global and JP. I'll let Izzy elaborate more on the JP differences because she's more an active player there than I am. But I was just thinking, initially I had the stance of, yeah, I think global, I think Pokelaba may have forgotten that global players are also stakeholders. Like, why do we have to pay more medals for Arcanas? Why do we not get BOGOs for all major events? Like, I was very annoyed that Rose and Maiden didn't get a BOGO. And I think the Summer Yukata event also didn't get a BOGO, whereas Nier and the Slime series got BOGOs. But that it just occurred to me that maybe there are additional costs to running global that they're trying to compensate for. The fact that there are multiple servers required because of the fact that we're global, whereas JP is just Japan. And there are probably other costs that I can't think of right now because I'm really asleep, but there are probably differences that we're not aware of that they're trying to compensate. I mean, as a player, it still annoys me that it feels like some of the pricing is unjustified, but there are probably other factors we have to think about that Japan doesn't have.
Well, I mean, that's partially true. Like, you have a lot of gotchas that have dual releases between the global community and, like, JB communities. Like, look at any of the Dragon Ball Z games, Naruto, etc. Like, you even have Arknights, where the pricings are pretty close to the same because it doesn't... Server space doesn't really cost that much. Like, if you want to talk classics, like when World of Warcraft came out to host one populated, like, high pop server, it cost them, like, I believe it was $25,000 a month, which they covered in magnitude just off of subscription fees. So I don't know how much Pokelabo, like, because gacha games don't have that much data in them. Like, they do, but it's not like you're hosting millions of people on different servers, you know? So I think there's some merit to it, but I think there's, like, most mobile games that have a dual communities also sort of deal with this.
Yeah, I was thinking more from a financial perspective because I come from an accounting background.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's just to meet KPIs or any incentive goals that management have, well, I'm pretty sure people know my stance on that. But if you don't, I disagree with it. I think it's potentially gonna make players lose faith in you if you prioritize that.
So
Yeah,
I
you,
looked
you
at
saw
the
it a lot with Genshin most recently too. Like players have gotten sort of like, oh, what? You mean you have to keep paying to play this game? And people are like, well, no, it's just how gachas work.
Yeah, and in terms of profitability, if we're talking about SINoALICE, I think it's relatively making money. At least like, so just looking at Sensor Tower right now, which kind of keeps track of like the purchases, right? It earned a revenue of 600,000 on just July, and if I recall correctly, because I've been looking at it probably like every month with Sino, I think on the previous months and like even starting like around December last year, I remember I was looking at it at like 800,000 to 600,000. So consistently it's like 600,000 per month. Which suffice to say, if we compare it to many other gacha games, I think most other gacha games that can stay afloat is like, if I recall correctly, it's like around 200,000. Below 200,000, that's when it starts kind of like, I noticed some gacha games started dropping when they earn less than that, but SINoALICE is at least doing well in terms of, I guess, revenue.
Well,
The first year they were posting, I believe the first 6 months were over 2 mil a month, and then they dropped down to about like 1.2. So the idea that they're doing 600,000 now, I mean, it speaks to just the game. Like you're eventually going to bleed people, and they don't have any new player onboarding, which is something I've marked about for like the better part of a year. Like if somebody starts tomorrow and they're like, oh man, I want to play with my buddies, I want to get in a guild, I want to do PvP stuff, you can't even get reasonably competitive within the first 3 months unless you're dropping thousands of dollars to get into the game, which for a game that's a year and a half old, nobody's gonna do.
Yeah.
I was also thinking back, like, because you said that's how I don't know math or finance, so I just hear numbers and I'm like, okay. And then, but the thing is, I was still thinking about that number. It seemed to have dropped in the last year, but with the fact that right now, like in the most recent news, they've dropped language support for German, Thai, and French. Was it French?
They dropped a few.
Yeah, they dropped a few language supports, and I was talking to some people about it, and apparently like those specifically French and German, they were surprised that SINoALICE dropped German language support, because it's when you search online, it's like apparently the German population generates more of a revenue for games, because French, Italian, German, and Spanish are the 4 major languages that you should translate into when you're trying to publish into the Europe population or something.
Yeah, that's true. So like, your big money movers in almost all gachas that exist are Japan is like usually Japan and China are number 1 with a bullet. Southeast Asia is a little jumpy. You get a lot of money movement sometimes, depending on the game, in like India and Eastern Europe. And then you get a lot in Germany, France, some in Italy, not too high. UK usually is pretty low on it. And then depending on what game it is, like North America and South America. Like you have like Dragon Ball, Dokkan, and Legends, which just sort of prints money for being the equivalent of a Facebook game. And has printed money for a very long time.
Lots of money.
So it depends on the IP. Like the My Hero Academia game that came out did not do very well on it did okay on release, and it is kind of evened out, but it did not do what they were expecting on release because of the IP. Mostly because of mismanagement and like not handling.
Yeah, there were a lot of controversy on that one too.
Yeah,
from what I heard,
they had a lot of problems day one because they were not communicating changes, and they were a lot of people were considering it very predatory. Which, I mean, if you can ask my stance any time of the day, most gachas are absolutely predatory. So.
Nope.
Yeah, I think this is actually brought onto another category of thing later on, but I was thinking of like Wait, yeah, I'll bring that up later. Anyways,
I mean,
Good on ya.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a layout here because yeah, we'll have a layout here. Is there any final comments on this portion for events? For this general portion
What
of
is
events?
the major event?
What is the major event? What is a major event?
I would summarize it as any seasonal event and any event that is a collaboration with a major IP. So one of the reasons why I've been a bit annoyed was in the last couple of months. So we had the fishing event, we had the summer event. I just feel like there's a lot of seasonal events, and then when you tack on top of that IP, it does seem like a lot. Like I think it's a really hard balance to strike to know when to release an IP related event and when, like, because that will clash with seasonal ones at times. But I feel like the timings of the recent events haven't been great, just because we had, I count fishing and summer yukata both summer events. Like they have very similar, and then there's like the swimsuit event too. So 3 summer events, and then on top of that you have another collab IP, and then we had anniversary, we had near before that. It's just the timing of all those just was not really good. So yeah.
I guess this goes to the topic of like frequency, right? What is like, I guess how often should we have those kind of major event right? Like
Once a month.
This is where I get to make a bunch of people mad and say, get used to it, because this is the pace going forward. They are going to have at least 1 collab a quarter. We are going to have potentially up to 2 not regular metal events a month, because like those of you that have played JP, like Chiaki and Izzy and them, like when you log into JP at any given point, there are what, 9 banners going between like the regular stuff and stuff that's just fallen into the background.
Yeah. Actually, having said that JP version, can I introduce our special guest? And then they can talk about the JP.
cool.
All right. So, featuring
Segue.
today. Yeah. So, today we have a special guest today. We have Izzy, who has, if you are not aware, has been playing JP SINoALICE since its launch date. They will be talking to us about the frequency and also how the flow of events have been in JP SINoALICE. I'm just going to move the sock puppet to the middle.
Hello, sock puppet.
Scratch your stomach. There's a SINoALICE podcast? I didn't know this. Scratch his chin. What is this? SINoALICE? What is this? I do not know what SINoALICE is.
Welcome, Izzy, to the podcast.
I didn't know there was such thing as a SINoALICE podcast. I've never been on one.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Congratulations. This is your first one then.
It is. Yeah, it is. I don't know what SINoALICE is.
Wow, really? But you said in your resume when you were applying for this podcast that you have been playing since day one.
You always go for the job you want, not the job you're applying for.
Alright, fine.
Shit, you're right. Wait, I'm the first one to swear already.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
It's been like 40 minutes and no one swore, and then I come in immediately.
We're all good.
Izzy just had the Tourette switching. He was like, got it, gotta say fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say the C word yet, so I'm good.
Oh my god. Alright, let's get started. Okay. Hi, Izzy. So, we want to ask you some questions about the JP flow of events.
Yes, and I never played Global before, Wing. I only played JP.
Well, okay. 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 I just wanted to first ask you, so how are new events introduced into the JP? Because we know from anyone playing Global, we generally only have like a 2 days or 1 day notice for any new event. I wanted to ask if that was similar to the JP version, or if you guys get like a lot more notice.
It depends, honestly. Like, a lot of the times, I would say on average, most events have been a either 2 day notice or a 1 day notice. So, I think, what was the most recent JP event I could think of? that wasn't like gacha, I guess. Armor event, yeah, there was an armor event like 3 days ago or something. It was 3 or 4 days ago, and we got a notice on that like literally like 5 hours before the event went live. So it was like, hey, by the way, there's a armor event in like 5 hours. Go get your armor. By the way, it only lasts for like 4 days, so good luck. And it was like, oh shit, man, I gotta go grind armor. For other events, they've been a bit better, honestly. Like we got the big raid event for this was our final like anniversary event. We finally got it. Anniversary event that we got. It was the raid. It was for Red's Half Nightmare Waterhammer job, and we got a 4 days notice before it went live. Obviously we got that roadmap like we usually do, where it shows like where it is on the seasonal charts.
We
We're
only
also
got that recently.
and then today in SINoALICE JP, we got a preview of our next event for the moon viewing event. That's not going to be in global. I highly doubt it because there is no thing on the roadmap for that. But yeah, like they've been better now. I think ever since that whole near thing where they literally announced it like the day before that we're getting a near event, and it's coming out with like 5 new jobs or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they realized like, man, maybe we shouldn't just drop the ball on people and say like 2 days or 1 day advance notice is not good for this kind of stuff. Like that got so much backlash, that near event, and it got backlash too in global, did it not?
It got backlash a lot in global because like when a lot of people go into the game, sometimes like some people, from my perspective, some people don't compare JP to global just because they're like, oh, one is trying to catch up to the other kind of thing. So when we heard that like Sinnoh JP had the near event, we didn't expect that we'll get the same thing. But at the same time, JP, from my understanding, had a lot more notice of that near reincarnation event. No, near replicant event. What am I saying?
That's another gacha game. Hey, hang on.
Compared to the global. Global got like 2 days notice, and JP, you at least had like a broadcast about it. At least.
No. We did not get a broadcast on it.
What about? Wait,
there was news about it, but
there was news about it in a teaser from the anniversary of Kaine's.
Okay.
But they didn't say the exact date, right?
Yeah, they did not say the exact date. They just said that it's coming soon, and that was it.
Great.
There it is. We got a picture of Kaine's ass, and
I mean,
that's
we
all
did get notice, if I recall correctly. They did say, "Oh yeah, we're getting near on June," right? I think it was like
So how we got the news in JP was we did get the official release date like 2 days, 1 day beforehand. That's why I got a lot of backlash. But the other ways we got the news was because it was in fucking car outside my window. We had the anniversary live stream where we got a tease of it, where it was like it's coming out June. It was June. And we got a picture of Kaine or Devil or Popula, and we're like, okay, cool. So we get 2 new classes, and then fast forward like a week later, when the new Famitsu article came out on SINoALICE's 4th anniversary and for JP, it showcased the new pig job. I think it only showed the new like paid pigs, and then we're like, okay, so we're getting a paid pig job. That's pretty cool, and it's a tease of a new story. Okay, but there's no release date yet, and people were just assuming that, okay, so it's just, gonna be at the end of June or whatever. And then like fast forward to like the actual end of June, where there was no news, and people were like, okay, it's gonna be delayed. Literally an hour later, it was like, nah, it's gonna be out tomorrow. Here it is. Look at the trailer. There's 5 new jobs, guys. Woo! There's gonna be a new story. Woo! There's another thing over here. Woo! It was like, what the hell's going on?
It was very bad timing. Yeah, it was very terrible timing.
Yeah, and then it was like, I didn't read the comments for global, but reading through like the JP comments where everyone was just like, bro, why? Like you could have just said this in the anniversary stream like a month ago, or like like it was very annoying because it's like it was during JP anniversary too, where it's kind of like, yeah, we get a lot of crystals, but you know everyone's not gonna use those crystals for like other stuff. We're using it for anniversary. So everyone kind of used up all the crystals, and then they released a near one, and it's another exclusive medal, and it's like, shit. Well,
That's a common
that's
gotcha
fun.
thing, though. Like, you'll see a lot of games that'll release the anniversary, and everybody gets super hype about it, and then a week later, they're like, hey, by the way, we're power creeping the anniversary, and you're like, you sons of bitches.
Oh dear.
I broke. I got no gems.
Yeah, it was like the first time I actually went below like 1k gems in JP, where I spent it all on Alice. A new Alice came out.
I don't know if
spent
you
it all
can hear
on
me
that.
screaming internally, but I am.
You can always bet that there's always gonna be like a bait banner right before a really good banner. So
That's usually the case.
it's like a common gacha tactic, and it's like, no, you can't trick me anymore.
I
This
want
happens
to.
all the time.
I also want to say this is that I'm really jealous of global players for having like, you guys don't consider it a drought, but man, I sure do, because we haven't stopped having events since anniversary in JP. I think since May or something, we haven't had like a break at all.
We're going
Like-
that way.
Mhm.
I mean, to be fair, I don't count armor events as like a large event, mainly because they suck and I hate them. Like, I think everyone was complaining about the drop rates, and I'm like, that's what you fucking get for asking for L armor early, you idiots.
You don't consider like running the same event 180 times and getting 2 LP cards like an event? Because I considered it an event, which I almost killed myself. So
Oh
I
dear.
wrote that down on my calendar.
I was warning everyone, like, you're gonna hate armor events, and we're like, nah, we needed it. I'm like, sure you do, and then watch as everyone doesn't get what they need or want from the armor event, and it's funny as hell.
Oh,
But
yeah.
also, I didn't do it, so I didn't care about it at all.
Yeah, when I first started playing, I had Zant and Tachi kind of like run me through all the stuff that JP went through, and they were like, and then eventually you're gonna get to L armors and die. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, like, I think having L armor early is like a mistake.
Is it early?
I think it's a huge mistake, especially global. Like, people are gonna like. I mean, it has happened. People complain about the drop rates, and I'm like, well, too bad for you. I mean, that's what you get. I think there's that also. I think there's that common complaint. I think Anda was talking about in the RCP, where people always try to compare JP with the global, but JP has a way different atmosphere, and also JP is just kind of like. I mean, also most people who compare it don't speak Japanese, so they don't know what the comments are in Japanese. But they are very similar to some of the global ones, I will say. Like the constant run of events, exclusive medal events, the fact that we have the recycle gacha going on right now, and we have I think we're having another spec gacha soon.
Shit, you just reminded me. We legit don't have recycle gachas.
We don't have recycle gacha yet in global.
Like,
We
that
have
was
the Lunar
supposed to
Break.
be a year one thing.
Oh.
Honestly, I don't. Want me to tell you how many banners are within the banner of recycle?
Oh,
Wait.
I've launched JP a couple of times. It's usually
There's-
like 14.
There's like 15 different banners inside the recycle gacha. I don't think people in global are ready for that. Like, you would open it and people would be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, when I first started doing research for the game, when I first started covering it, like I played JP for a couple of weeks, and I didn't realize there was a second page of banners until like 4 or 5 days in. And I was like, I wonder what all these are. And I'm like,
Hey
well, I'm
guys,
glad
you
I
want to
don't
know
read
what
Japanese,
those
and I'm glad there's 19 of them.
Hey guys, you want to know what's the cool part about those tickets? It's like their page, so you have to pay to use
Yeah.
them.
Oh my god.
Wait till people figure out you have to pay for Arcanas later. Oh wait, that's what's happening to the Gems banner right now.
No.
Wait a minute, people pay for stuff in the gacha game? That's fucked up.
Oh no.
Okay, wait. Chiaki, do you have any comments about anything that was discussed? Because I think I saw your avatar light up at some point.
Oh no. But I think the main thing is there seems to be a common theme about lack of good communication across
Oh, yeah.
JP and global.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
like
noticed.
That, yeah.
They
The
don't-
whole part,
Wait.
sorry.
The fact that they give so little notice for
Mhm.
each event is quite detrimental to players, especially players who spend but don't have. They have to cap their spending because a lot of the time when you're making financial decisions, you have to plan the timing of that too. And when you only get like 1 day or 2 days notice, it's not that easy to get the funds or get the crystals, whatever resources you need to accommodate for that event. So I think the communications need to be really tightened up. Like, I don't think it's a good excuse to say, oh, our stakeholders are preventing us from doing this. That's an internal problem. As customers, the only thing we care about is the product. We don't care about what's holding you back internally. It's gonna sound really harsh, but that's the truth. Like, there are many other games out there who are experiencing backlash because they're suffering internally, but to the players, that's not the player's problem. Like, if it affects the game, then it needs to be fixed.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think the comms need to be really improved just so that the players, have a better user experience by being able to plan their spending. Like, why should a player sacrifice some of their essentials to accommodate an increase in banners, right? If well, you'll probably tell them, hey, you should probably skip that banner, but they want to make that choice. And if you're taking that choice away from them, then it's not really cool. So yeah, and it seems like the way they're releasing banners, it doesn't seem very logical. Like, they're just releasing whatever the heck they want, it seems. Like, they have given us a roadmap, but I feel like they have betrayed the expectations set by the
They
roadmaps
haven't been
before.
very
It's a very
specific
loose
with
roadmap
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah. It's not like Fire Emblem Heroes where they legitimately have the dates out and the times and then what's gonna be in it.
Genshin Impact too, right? Like
Yeah.
they run out. They run in like a very set schedule every 3 weeks. There's like a new banner, and there's a patch every 6 weeks. Like, they're consistent on it, and so players can at least like predict when like things are gonna come out, right?
Yeah.
I will say though that Global has been running a more consistent schedule now. I think you can expect every a week and a half a new character banner, or not character, job banner. A week before Grand Call, you expect a spec banner, and then also the limit break
Limit break
banner
banner,
every
yeah.
other
Yeah,
month or something, whatever it is, and then
been every month.
you
right?
okay, and then I would
think
say
it's gonna start
maybe
being every month.
yeah,
Yeah.
and occasionally in the middle of the month or at the start of the month it would be a event, and I would say that is more consistent than what JP has been doing, where man, I wish we had the spec banners scheduled time like in Global, because spec banners in JP only run for like 2 days and then they're gone. And most of them would have a calamity weapon on them, so they're pretty fucking good most of the time. So you should.
Yeah, but there are like
What?
5 or 6 different iterations of Calamity in JP now, whereas we've only just
There
gotten the first one.
is, I would say, I don't know how to explain this.
Because you've got like the Calamity, you've got the
Like-
Apocalypse weapons, you've got the
Ye-
different versions of Calamity and Apocalypse weapons.
They started grouping them up together in the same
Yeah.
banner, so it hasn't been like
Mm.
bad, because it's like, hey, at least on this one banner I'm gashing for it, I'm gonna get at least a good weapon, right? But JP now, they've been doing spec banners every like obviously before GC, but you never know which one is gonna be the first one's gonna show up. Who knows if it's gonna be Minstrel, Sword, and then Cleric first, or if it's gonna be like Sword, Gun, Orb. Who knows what fucking blowout it's gonna be. And then we haven't had like a new character job banner for like a while. Like, they haven't been running those for a while. Like, the most recent one we got was the Aladdin Sin one, but that was like a long time ago. Like, we haven't even had a recent Sin job since him. So we're like, what the hell's going on? We haven't had like a new job in a while, like a character job. We've had event jobs, and then we're having this new event banner for the yin and yang weapons, which is the light and dark. And then they have more spec banners on top of that for certain elemental weapons that can be merged into those ones. So it's been like, what schedule is it lined up in JP? Like, we don't have one. We, at most, the most consistent thing has been like the character job ones, where we can expect maybe at most 2. Like, you can expect 2 character sin jobs, or just like 2 character jobs. Like, who knows? Like, I don't even remember what we had this month. Like, I just remember Aladdin, and then
there was a new red or something.
No, then red is the event one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, the thing I can count on that's always monthly is the stupid divine jobs, which I hate. I hate divine jobs. No one talks to me about those. If that shows up in global so soon, I can't wait forever to jump ship and be like, fuck this game.
Oh my god.
Those actually suck ass.
Well, and to kind of back up to Chiaki, like...
Wait, Chiaki wanted to say something after.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. My bad.
Sorry. I just wanted to add, like, I remember early in the year, they had this roadmap, and I remember them specifically saying they were only going to do collabs once every 2 months. But then I was really upset that they brought out Rose and Maiden in May. They said it was February, April, June, but they brought out Rose and Maiden in May, and it upset me because one, it basically went against what was said about that roadmap, and two, Rose and Maiden was an IP that I had attachments to, and the fact that it was brought out so close to Nier, it got overshadowed, and I felt like that IP was done dirty. So I feel like
think
when they do
Rose and Maiden
roadmaps,
was like added in. Like, Rose and Maiden was definitely just added in. But I haven't watched Rose and Maiden or rewatched it recently, but like, I do like Rose and Maiden, but the fact that it seemed like it was so squished in because they were like already hyping up Nier, and then they're like, Rose and Maiden, by the way, guys. It's like, wait a minute.
Well, and back to the dumping of communication, like, I'm sure it's been mentioned on the podcast, but like, even being in the Poke Labo chat as creators, we know exactly when a banner is coming out as soon as literally everyone else does.
We don't know anything.
That has been a day one complaint for everybody.
Yeah.
Because like, half the time banners change, weapons get nerfed. We know, if we know 24 hours ahead, it's a godsend.
Yeah. Like, we only know as much as the players know. Also, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but viewer discretion is advised. The views expressed here are not necessarily those that represent Poke Labo. It's basically based on the thoughts of us as players.
JJ, it's way too late for that. At least 2 of us have already said.
I'm pretty sure they figured that out, probably.
At least 2 of us
Labo now.
Okay.
I'm a part of Poke Labo now.
Darn.
Now I'm saying we're having a Minecraft Steve collab in like next month.
Darn. But yes. It's Rose and Maiden definitely was a banner, was an event that I was like, oh, but why? I thought, because I think for me, like, I also was expecting at least a collab every other month.
Half is what I think should be reasonable.
That's relatively safe. I think so too.
As long as it's something that's like, I think it was only in the last 6 months that they actually just started speeding up releases of events, because prior to that 6 months, I don't think we had like we had one collab in the first 6 months, and then after the first 6 months we have had
it was Nier and Nier Automata, and then
drawing a blank. Anyways, when I think it was either ReZero or Slime Event.
ReZero was a month before Rose and Maiden.
Okay, and when was the Slime Event?
It was in February. So February was Slime, April was ReZero, May was Rose and Maiden, June, late June was Nier Replicant, And then we had Summer
God,
Yukata
Chiaki, you
recently.
okay? You
Chiaki just woke up.
Yeah, the May, April, May, June was like, that was, I was bled dry.
Man, you
Oh.
got complain about 3 months? I'm gonna complain about the half the year, man. What the hell's going on around here?
Oh yeah, we also had Space Invaders
yeah,
because everybody
yeah.
loved that one.
Yeah. I wouldn't have mind if Space Invaders did a rerun, like, instead of...
with rocks! Woo! Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Okay. But yes, we had 4 collabs back to back, which is insane. Granted, time, like in the last 4 to 6 months, we had so many events compared to it's just been a constant. It's just been a constant like rolling of whatever that ball going down a hill thing metaphor is. So
Sisyphus, where you keep pushing the rock up and then rock keeps coming back down to fight you.
I guess, yeah. I guess we just hope that like moving forward, PokeLabo does like if they keep to their word, either like an event like a collab every other month, or if they are going to do a collab every month, that they at least give us a better notice, or like I don't know.
I think the Gems Company one was actually announced pretty like.
Yes,
I think it was given like a 4-day notice, which honestly is fine. Like, I'd rather have that 4 days notice. What was I gonna say? I think, man, I want to tell you about the fucking ride in JP that we were currently on, where nonstop events. Where I think it started out with, I don't know how back it was. I think maybe back in March.
Actually, how many events has JP gotten in, let's say, for example,
you want to know, huh?
Yeah. How many events has JP gotten in, let's say, for example, the last actually, since your anniversary, or like a little even before anniversary, since near.
Okay, so you know what? I'll make it easy on myself since I remember anniversary. Anniversary started start of June. So June we got the anniversary event, which is we got a Cinderella Half Nightmare, I think it was Water Sword job, I don't know what job it was. So I got the Cinderella one, and then we got the new EXT chapter for the story, and then we got Near Replicant, and then we got the armor event run next. And then in July, man, do I have to actually fucking open up JP for this? But what the fuck was in July? Man, I'm drawing a blank now. I think it was another. Oh yeah, summer event. Fuck.
Yeah, summer event.
There was the summer event where everyone gets black. There was also the another armor event, and then there was. Oh right, we had the whole week where it was nonstop raids. So every raid that is currently available in JP, it was up 20. Every raid was up 24/7 basically, and they're only up for like one. So one day was like I don't know what their names are. The one that looks like a snake penis, and then the other one that looks like a funny plant. So that would be on one day, and then the next day would be like the Ikemen, Owlman, and then.
So just a whole week of raids, like between events.
A whole week of raids. There's Agitar. I remember doing Agitar's rage for like 2 days straight because I was trying to get him max level broken because no one in my guild had him. So I was doing that. Hang on, I actually have my game open right
Yukata?
now. So I guess on each and every one. No, not yet.
Oh.
Not yet.
Okay.
We got the new chapter for reality arc of Aladdin and Rapunzel. Next, it was the winners bracket event for Cinderella, Ibarahime, and I think it was red. No, it wasn't red. Oh, I don't even know.
Oh dear.
But yeah, we had that one. And then that's when we had the Yukata event. And then after Yukata event, we had another armor event. And then on top of all that, we've also had not solo story events, but we had a new solo event with the yin and yang weapons. So all that in like the last 2 months. And then now we're having the giant raid, which is up until hang on. Fuck, the game is lagging.
That just sounds like a whole like pot of things that could lead to player burnout.
player, Bird. You want to know what's been happening since March? Okay, babe. Here we go.
Okay, wait, no, back up. We can go to the next question, which is totally not related. This is going to literally go on forever, and I need to
It
give
is.
you
I'm
a
gonna
schedule.
complain. I'm gonna complain forever. Fuck. Anyways, the raid lasts until like September, and yeah, that sucks, huh?
I mean,
We're having a new event. Woo!
our pace has been pretty much like, I would say, almost always just 2 events to 3 events max,
Yeah.
right, at once.
Yeah.
I would say 2 at most.
2 at most, and then, you know.
It's
Like,
like
I don't
yeah.
count raids as like a big event, but if it's literally a 24-hour raid and they go on for the whole week, I would say count that as an event, because that never happens.
It will most likely just be like in the future for future in global. It will just be a mixed match of 2 types, hopefully only 2 types of events, whether it's raids, an armor event, or raids and metal event, or raids and like a collab event.
Yeah, it's always like raid plus this, but I'm talking about like actual metal event or shooting gallery event plus the solo event story we had, and then the solo and then armor event. So it'd be 3 on JP.
Oh.
And that's if you care about them.
Oh dear. Okay.
I feel like it's one way to kind of disguise that you don't really have a lot of events, because if you think about it, most of these events are done within like the first day.
Yes.
Once they got out, you finish the event in like day 1 usually, or day 2.
Yeah, but none of these events are like done and gone. They're like actually you should be doing them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Like for raid, if you care about just getting the nightmare be done, then you're fine. But yeah, these were well. I think they
When
purposely.
it comes to conquests, you guys should be farming it for cores.
Yes, because then we get RNG weapons.
Yeah, see that's the
Wait.
thing is like
I
they
need to get
purposely
stronger.
they purposely reran the raids that did have the husk weapons, so that's why everyone went nuts for them, because it's like, wow, we don't have to wait half a year for them to rerun and then run them for 40 times and then get the husk.
Oh dear. Because the drop rates for those to get that RNG for the husk weapons is a very low drop.
Yeah,
Not to mention there's no multipliers or anything for conquests. So.
there's only just character effect.
And that's not
boost.
even the really shitty part. Like, getting the combination of skill and Kalo and aid skill that you want is, you know...
Are you ready to roll a dice? Yeah, let's go. We have a better chance of winning the lottery at this point, right?
You want
You wanna roll
RNG in your
several thousand
RNG?
dice?
Okay. Okay. Any final comments before I ask the next question?
No,
It's cheaper to
Move
do
on.
drugs.
move on with it. I hate SINoALICE.
True.
All right. Well, okay. So, I guess the next question is, it's regards to the JP Global Simultaneous event. I'm gonna read out Delta's answer to this, but I just want to ask, how do you feel about the JP Global Simultaneous event? Are they helpful to global, or like global or not? Just because in the question that I asked, is basically global trying to catch up with JP? Delta answered this question by saying, I think that global is now at its own special pace, separate from JP. To say that global is catching up is kind of weird, because I don't think we are intending to catch up at all. For instance, we get new characters much earlier than JP, which means that some banners will be out earlier than others. We are also getting 0 weapon only banner, and it's likely that some banners that were available in JP Nightmare featured banners may not even appear as what they would be in global. We are currently running a 18 cost plus 19 costs, which are spec meta, so for those who have a prediction on the next cost creep, it will most likely be at the start of 2022.
I
I can
will
agree with that.
speak from the JP standpoint, where I do agree that global is on a different scheduling pace, and also just pace in their own sense. Like I said already, JP's just been pumping out event after event after event, and that's kind of the pace we've been at for like half a year now. Is kind of like what we expect from now on, where we can always expect like I would say quote unquote a break day, but then you log in and you're like, wait a minute, there's an armor event going on. When did I get here? Cheeky little shit. And then and then you move on, right? Kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then JP also been, I think he mentioned the weapon only banners, which we
Yeah.
super been like only getting in JP, where it's never been a class. It's like, hey, look, new weapon. Look at this cool sword that looks like a arm, and it's like, wow, that looks really cool. you catch it for the aesthetics of the weapon instead of an aesthetics of a character. It's been like that in JP for a bit too. I think it's mainly just because our meta is changing to this new skill we recently got, where it was like, I think the weapon skill, I don't know how it translates to, but I think it roughly translates to like, if this skill uses 100 of your SP, but it does the previous weapon skill at a higher chance rate up, and also at a higher damage boost, and it gives like DC 5 or something, just base, something like that. It was something like that for that.
If I remember right, it's essentially a reverb skill where it tries to do the last skill again.
Yeah, it does the last skill again, but better.
Yeah,
but,
essentially you just hit like several times harder.
Yeah, like, and also we just got a drop of 4-hit hammers, 4-hit pole arms, and also guns that do like essentially DC like 6 at this point.
We're still
Could
at
you imagine
DC
hitting
2.
5 people?
Huh?
Could you imagine hitting like 5 people?
Oh man, it feels fucking great, man.
I bet.
I hit 3 people in JP, and it feels so great when you just all fucking die. Like, it feels amazing, but man, imagine that in global right now. That would actually break the meta of whatever combo we're doing.
I don't think we're gonna see like the 2.5 targets for a while.
No, definitely not. And we barely even get like two target hammer / polearm. Like, I think I've only gotten like 2 weapons in my grid that is like that, where it's static 2 hit. Hang on, in your burp again.
Okay.
Never mind, it got stuck in my throat.
Wait, what about the JP and global version?
I think they're cool. I honestly really, really, really like the simultaneous events because it gives really good perspective and change of the story, especially the new summer one, where in global it's literally just a happy story of the gang goes to a festival and they hang out and they eat and they play.
Nothing bad could ever happen.
Nothing bad could ever happen.
Nothing bad could ever happen. They face their past sins. Wow, that's pretty cool. And then you go over to JP where it's literally all like the depressed meme. Like, everyone's so fucking sad. Everyone's like, legitimately, I think I was reading one of the JP comments where people were like, this event fucking sucks. He made me cry or something like that.
You see it a lot in the paranoia translations, because in global they're a little more... I don't know how I would describe it. They're a little more tongue-in-cheek about stuff.
I want to say just translation-wise, like, obviously, you can't compare French translations to official translations and how, you know, people translate certain words to certain other things. Like, it's always hard to compare translations, but the overall arcing story of that event story completely changes when you go into JP because of the story events we've had. I think that's also another thing with SINoALICE people need to realize is that some actual event stories kind of, I want to say they connect, but they do it in a way where it kind of helps with the current arcing story event we're having. And because the recent story event in JP was a recent extermination arc, it fucking was so depressing reading that one. It like literally it sucks. Like, I was like when I was reading it in global, and because I didn't read the JP translations at all, but when I was reading it in global, I was like, man, this sucks. This blows. Like, who's the staff member I have to complain to who wrote this?
Oh dear.
I don't mean it sucks as in it was bad. I mean it sucks as in it was good, and it made me actually really sad.
It makes you really emotional.
Yeah,
okay.
And then like, as a normal global player, you wouldn't know that, but then as a JP, but this is what I really like about these events, is because how it can turn different like story beats around. Like what we're only in reality arc, part 2 for global, where it's like, oh, like, oh, that event was fun. I mean, like, you know, they just hung out, you know, like, I think it was good for their library versions to hang out and shit. And then you go to and then you go into JP, where the most recent one was called the Extermination arc, and then you read about all these characters having fun, and it's like, oh shit, well, hold on, there's like, what kind of foreshadowing is this?
Okay. All right.
Alright, that would probably just have spoiled to anyone who has been reading SINoALICE story. Good job.
Yeah, hey, if you read ahead of SINoALICE, fuck you, I hate you.
Oh my god. All right.
Yeah, you just
Do you hear about
spoiled.
Wait.
Ligma?
Oh.
She's been very vague about it.
I mean, to be fair, the arc is just called Extermination arc. I don't think there's really any other way for me to censor its name.
I mean, if I'm being honest, you can all just assume that pretty much everybody dies at all points,
Mhm.
because that's
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
just been the ongoing
Well,
theme
I
of
mean,
this.
yeah, that's also the thing too. Like the characters already died once. So,
Everybody's
I
already
mean-
died at least once.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone calls Izzy a sussy baka.
Don't.
Anyways, moving forward. Moving forward. Okay, because the reason why I asked this question originally for global and JP simultaneous event is just because for the near replicant event. Okay, so the near replicant event, you guys had in JP. This is, I believe, the third instance they had near replicant event. The first one was just with fourth. Okay,
Yeah.
fourth. Okay, the first instance we got email and all of those. The second rerun of near replicant event should have only been the original plus facade.
King of Facade
King of-
and
Yona.
Kara, yeah.
Yeah, and then now instead of that, we ended up jumping from 1 to 4, I guess, in this case, where 4 ended up being an additional 4 classes, and I'm just like, excuse me, PokeLabo, you have just added 4 classes. Why didn't you just go and just add Facade and not like the other 3 new characters that you just added in JP? You're trying to make us broke because you just made us broke.
I'm gonna say this. I got extremely lucky in my near gacha, like originally. So I got everyone first pull, and then I got Yona and King of Facade in the same pull. So I was like fine. And then like this banner came out, and I was like, ah, shit, I'm not gonna be lucky. And yeah, you know what? I was not lucky. I did not get anyone at all in this.
You guys haven't figured out the secret to playing gachas? It's just be lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Get that 1%, baby.
Anyways, Sky Chiaki, I assume you both pulled on for the simultaneous event. How did you guys feel about having 4 additional characters?
You talk about near
Yeah,
replica?
Let's say either the Yukata event, it was a simultaneous JP and global event, but that was a new event in basically for I guess both sides. But the thing was that the Yukata event was, I guess, the first correct me if I'm wrong, Izzy, it was the first iteration where you guys had the light. It was the first like major event where they had the light and dark.
Oh yeah.
weapons?
We had this is the first time we've ever had yin and yang weapons like separate
Yeah.
from a solo event. Gotcha. So it was pretty cool, but also it sucked because it was like, wait a minute, do we have to use light and dark weapons for this? And then you go in, and then you're like, oh, it's a fucking wind or whatever water event.
Yeah. So
So it was really weird because now we are getting Sin jobs where the weapon is a yin or yang weapon,
Mhm.
but they're actually attuned to like wind, water, or wind.
Okay.
Whatever. I forgot
Yeah,
the
it
other
feels like the light and dark
Yeah.
weapons are kind of like an
They're-
afterthought where
I-
they were just like,
they
hey, you
are.
want to add some colors?
I was thinking if that's going to be the introduction for that event, then that's considered a major event. That I think that if they're going to incorporate into JP, I mean global, they should have introduced it much later on. They didn't have to put it together with the JP event per se, because they ended up just giving everyone. They just made all the elements for those weapons into water.
I would have wanted it more like that than how we did it in JP because we had to use extra materials to actually make it water yang at that
Oh.
point.
I see.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Like it sucked. So I didn't do it at
Alright,
all because I'm
Let's,
waiting.
what do you got, Chiaki? How do you feel about simultaneous
Yeah.
events?
Yeah.
As I normally don't really pay attention to what JP's doing, but
I'm proud of you.
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the only gripe I have about global, like, difference between global and JP is like the Arcana medals, like the
God.
medals.
Oh yeah.
The fact that it costs 800 Arcanas for a set of 2 in JP, and then 1,000 for
It
a
costs.
set in global.
To put it in perspective, level 1 is 300, level 2 is 300, and then level 3 is 500. Or like altogether.
Jesus Christ, I wish.
But that I will also say that's been a recent thing since the anniversary. I think they started doing that even more. So now,
Yeah. But
so start of anniversary, we just
Yeah.
got that.
Metal
and,
cost adjustments or we riot.
Yeah.
The economy requires
Like,
attention.
it's been such a huge like issue in JP where we wanted like cheaper cost of metals, especially Arcana, because some Arcanas never rerun and it sucks. Like I don't think we're ever gonna get S-Brick or Mermy or any of those S-Shop Arcanas ever again, by the way. So if you missed them, haha. But yeah, like we never get reruns of certain Arcanas, and then like now we're like, hey, look, they're cheap now. It's like that's pretty epic, I guess.
give us cheap Arcanas in global.
Yeah.
That would be beneficial for us, especially as
There are
Chiaki.
so many little, like, economy things that should absolutely be worked on. Because, like, certain things are just ridiculously expensive for no reason.
Yeah.
The Arcana thing, I think it does matter to a certain extent, but I think it's also because Global added the now support tab in the grid, I think, and level 2 Arcana now supports that instead of level 3 in JP. So I think at this point now we should be in Global should expect the cheaper Arcanas because of that, to support that kind of like, I wouldn't say meta, but growth in Global.
Yeah, we're the cheaper Arcanas.
Yeah.
I can probably relate to what Chiaki does because I basically like, whenever there's like an M attack, I'm like, oh, whoops, okay, gotta. Where's that card right there? Wait, hold up. but the global JP, like, I think it's actually good that we're getting global and JP at the same time, because that way global doesn't really feel left out. But I think the issue is probably when you start not looking at the global schedule. And so what that's in that situation, for example, we had the Nier immediately right after Rose and Maiden, right? And so that's when it'll become a problem personally, because now, like, where's our crystals?
That's true, yeah. I think they
Yeah,
gave
because like since we are getting the accelerated on quite a few of these bits, like there's no money.
They
Like,
gave
people aren't going to be spending that much to go wild on these things.
Yeah.
They gave JP, I think, more crystals for the release of the Yukata event than they did global, right?
The what?
Did they give JP more Twilight crystals for the same event or the
At
release
the
of the
start, like
Yeah.
right before it started?
No. For, let's say, for example, the Yukata event, did you?
Mhm.
Because how many crystals did we get for the wreath of that event?
Like in total, like including the shooting gacha and stuff, because if we're talking about like if before it starts, like the social media thing you did, it's the same, because we had the same social media runs.
Okay.
They were tied together.
Oh, okay.
So the social media things like on Twitter and stuff like that, especially for simultaneous events, I know they've been the same because they're run together. Like the Nier one, the Slime one, and the Yukata one, we got all the same crystals because they ran the same Twitter event. I think the only difference is that we got like weapon. My bad. We got weapon enhancement thingies because we had like the live stream or something like that. We have a tendency to get more live streams in JP, so we get more like weapon enhancement thingies and stuff like that.
Give us more live streams so that we get better things too, please and thank you, PokeLabo!
They need to hire those 2 like models or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Oh, Steffi and what is the other?
I don't know. They're the 2 models that clearly don't play SINoALICE, but they're there because they need someone. They need someone who speaks English and Japanese there.
Well, yeah.
Well, one of
when
them.
they were playing PvE content, I was like, "Are you for real?"
When they were doing the raid on the stream, I was like, watch them have all wind weapons that don't actually exist in global, and then they actually did. I was like, hey, look at that!
Oh my god. They did that? Okay.
Yeah, like I think it was like the New Year stream or something like that. They did a raid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, is there any final comments regarding JP or the flow of events before we move on to actually a banner train? And I don't know if Izzy's staying around for the banner train conversation.
JP, my
We
nuts.
kind of already like went over the banner train conversation. too.
Okay.
It was like, oh,
True.
it's coming.
I know.
It ain't stopping.
Yeah.
This train has no brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of Q3, Q4, you can count on the seasonal events to be there. So you've got
Oh,
Halloween.
wait.
you've got
Sorry
Christmas.
to cut you off, but
Wait.
this is technically second holiday. Like this is Christmas 2. Last year was Christmas 1. Like this is Christmas. It like we're having another Christmas event, right?
What?
Like for Christmas
Okay.
for this year for
You mean
SINoALICE.
people are celebrating
Yeah.
Christmas?
Yeah, no, it's Hanukkah this time. Okay, I want to give a fair warning to Kaguya fans. Good luck. That's it. So I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Goodbye, legendary sock puppet.
Goodbye.
Sorry. Sorry, Kaguya fans, for what's gonna happen in late November to early January. That's all I'm saying.
Foreshadow.
Yeah, just my foreshadowing. This is my warning to all of you big titty mommy lovers.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I do my dramatic leave now?
You can also promote your channel too if you want before you leave.
If you watch my channel, fuck you.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Oh my god.
And she left.
And she left. Well. Alright, so. Chiaki, do you want to finish your
Banner
sentence?
train- Let's go back to Chiaki.
I don't remember where I was.
Banner train, hype, fatigue.
Fatigue.
Oh, banner.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we need to cut down on the collabs, especially in Q4, because Q4 you've got Halloween in October, and then you've got Christmas / New Year's, and there's going to be another half-year anniversary or something, maybe. I don't know, do they count 1.5 years as an anniversary? They may do something there. So, if they don't lay it off in Q4, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's any, like, backlash.
They did something on the half anniversary because it was during December. I remember that because I was like waiting for like the ×2 stamina thing
Oh,
or AP or half AP.
Yeah. I think. Okay, wait. Yeah, okay, so let me read Delta's answer for this question. Delta's answer for this question, because I asked for the recent banner train thoughts, hype, or fatigue. Delta says, I mean, my answer has been the same since a few months ago. I predicted a train like this would happen, and that everyone who blind pulls for collabs for quote-unquote limited edition stats will get screwed over because quote-unquote limited edition stats in global aren't really that limited when they just keep coming. Yes, the Leviathans will tower over the rest, but the common folks who don't spend on the game will still be around a similar power level. Pull reasonably and don't be stuck on the fallacy that collabs are limited stats. They really aren't as limited as you might think. Yeah.
I mean, they're limited in the idea that power creep is going to happen in the game every 90 days. So, like, unless you're trying to be at the tippity-toppity 5%ers, like, it doesn't matter. Just play the game. Save your crystals.
Yeah.
And if you can't max out a weapon, don't worry about a weapon. I'll just pull for classes. Stats are way more important.
That's only like
Yeah,
yeah.
just-
No, go ahead.
Unless it's a really good weapon, because there are exceptions to that rule.
Yeah, I usually just pulled for the stats for the collabs. I think part of the issue though is probably Chiaki will be able to relate on this, like pulling for the Arcana to get the stats is it gets quite hefty, I guess, especially if you're trying to build like especially Vanguard, I guess I would say.
Yeah,
Actually,
Vanguard.
this collab is a kind of, or the Gems company is a little bit nicer to me this time around. That I don't have to get as much M attack, but the previous collabs, ooh, oh my god.
Could you
Yeah,
imagine having
Nier
like
and Yukata. Oh my god.
God.
The fact that there were 4 classes to get, and then if you're pulling for all 4 classes, that means you have to pull for 8 arcanas, and each arcana is 500 medals. So 8 times 500, that's 4,000 medals you need, right?
Yep.
4,000 medals, so you need to pull 40 times. So 40 times 300, that's 12,000 if I
Yeah.
did the math right.
Yeah, 12K. 12K.
Yeah, 12k. So it's no surprise if I have to spend at least 18,000 Twilight Crystals just to get all the classes and all the Arcanas, and hope that I can get MLB weapons, like the weapons that I really want MLB for. Like, I have to pray for that because I think I have bad luck when it comes to getting the weapon that I want. Like, I remember the Nier banner, I was trying to get the Transient's weapon. I would not get King of Facade till like 5,000 crystals in. Like, I'm using very rough estimates.
I think I
But-
had to go
Yeah.
7 rotations on that one.
Do you guys want to hear something wild? So the last spec banner where we actually had some pretty good instruments, I got 9,800 crystals deep before I got my first copy.
Oh,
That's
Oof.
happened to me.
I'm so
before.
sorry.
That's happened
Well,
to me
I'm
before for other
classically
banners.
unlucky, so I feel everybody's pain here.
Yeah, it took me 9 rotations to get my first, I think, spear on the Calamity, actually. Rip.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about the Calamity.
Oh god, let's not.
Yeah. I think for me, because I light whale. I only go for like the first copy, and then after I just go, if I don't get it, I don't get it. Because the thing is, like, for that, it's like when you go into like, especially like rolling for characters, I think I was rolling for a certain character at one point. No, wait, was I? Yeah, I was rolling for now I remember. I was rolling for Pinocchio for Sin. Is it considered Sin Pinocchio? Sword?
Platinum Tiger Pino?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So I was rolling for that one, and I was debating whether or not I should actually get the roll for the class or spark the class. But at the same time, it's like, if I want to spark the class, then originally my thought was I'm gonna go for the Arcana too. But for get the Arcana and to spark the class, I would have to use a total of 2,500
Yeah,
medals.
well,
But then someone mentioned to me that I'm like, if you're gonna be spending 1k medals for how much? What was the 800 P attack? Was it 800 P attack? Yeah. So it's like it got me thinking. I'm like, okay, so I'm using one. If I were to want to get the Arcana, I would have to get. Don't play the music in the background. If I wanted to get the Arcana, I would have to get enough medals to actually then get the Arcana. But is it actually worth the 800 P attack, or can I eventually just use that 1k medals for another class Arcana that would come out later that month for, let's say, for example, just getting the first Arcana that would give me potentially 400 stats? Question mark. I don't know if I'm making sense.
My rule of thumb is, like, I try not to go more than about 3,000 medals deep into any single banner unless it's something I need or it's something that I'm chasing. And even then, I try to avoid, like, I save all my medals till the end of month, till they're right about to expire.
and they're pretty vocal. Oh, sorry. I was speaking to my chat.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm starting to lose it.
What time is it over
Too
there,
many
anyway?
banners.
It is too many
Morning.
banners. It's like
It's 50 over here, but I've been awake since 6:50, and yeah, I'm just not a morning person.
yeah. I tried to time the podcast so that if Chiaki was if Chiaki was joining, then it wouldn't be before her call. But at the same time, if it was during a day that was a work day, it was not also later or something. Yeah.
Yay,
But-
Aussie times.
Aussie times.
Yeah, it's just it's the nature of a gacha that's at least semi-successful. Because like you're going to run banners constantly. Like creep is going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. And when they feel like numbers are dipping, they're gonna drop a collab regardless of whether or not it feels like right to us because you have to spike numbers somehow.
They're just gonna drop a pack, like buy one get one.
Oh, having said that, they only released like one BOGO this month, didn't they?
Are they?
Yeah, where's the
I don't-
BOGO for Yukata?
I don't know why the BOGOs just aren't constant. Like
Yeah.
you should just be able to buy BOGOs. Like
Yeah.
there's no reason. It's $80. Like one.
125
holy
Canadian.
shit.
Australian as well.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's whatever Outback dollars are.
Wow.
No. But yeah, it's like I was expecting, I guess we're all expecting BOGO for Yukata or like BOGO for the current event.
They should have just been running like a BOGO deal. Like, listen, if you want to fucking make money, you just say, hey, for the month of September, you can buy as many BOGOs as you can spend money on. It prints itself. Like that's if
Just
they want
a
to.
weekly BOGO like other games, like
know.
7DS Grand Cross.
Oh my god. That's
Speaking of a gacha that has a very significantly different problem. You want to talk about power creep? Go play Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh dear. But yeah, Pokelaba, where is our BOGO? We were supposed to get we used to expect one every month. However, with the consistency of the releases of all of your events and all of your banners, we are now expecting twice a month, please.
Yeah, if your player base is saying like, yo, if you run the BOGO, we'll buy it, and you still only run it once a month, like, it's just sleeping with a gun in your mouth and like hoping it doesn't go off. Like, just put the BOGO out. People will buy it.
Yeah.
One thing that is a mystery to me is why was there no BOGO for Rose and Maiden and Yukata when you had a BOGO for Slime, a BOGO for ReZero, a BOGO for Nier? Where is the consistency in BOGO?
if I
Yeah.
recall correctly for Rosen, I think the BOGO happened
Like a week
earlier
before,
in the
if I remember
month.
that
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
I remember that, and I was like, okay, I knew already
Here,
that there was gonna
I'll
be a
solve
collab.
this problem. 'Cause
Yeah.
We've already mentioned it. Just put BOGO up permanently. Just do it.
It's not BOGO anymore, and then now we're gonna ask for a different BOGO.
No, just the one BOGO all the time, 24/7, 365 days a week.
I mean,
If
let's
somebody wants to
BOGO
spend
reset.
$9,000,
Bo-
let them do it.
BOGO reset every month. Twice a month, please.
No, more than once a month.
It should come with every like big event that has
Like,
separate
just
medals,
do it-
especially separate
do it
medals.
once a week and see how it turns out. And
Yeah.
if people buy it, then do it 8 times a month.
Especially if they're going to lock weapons behind 6 rotations on step-up
God, yeah.
banners.
Oh yeah, please. Why are there?
That's
Yeah.
what really got my nerves. The fact that Rosemary didn't have BOGO, Yukata didn't have BOGO. The fact that they also had weapons locked behind a paywall essentially, and there was no BOGO to help soften the blow.
Buying raw packs very much sucks, like immensely.
That's an extra good steak that I have to pay for each time I have to buy off
Let's be
BOGO.
real here. If you're whaling, you're probably gonna get that steak and buy that. Anyway,
Wait, when BOGO comes out, do you guys buy all of the BOGO packs, or do you guys just go for the 2K?
It depends on how much I'm wiling out that month. Like, there have been months where
Yeah.
I've bought all of them, and then there are other months where I haven't touched them. So
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, yes, I'm a whale.
Just buy all.
I used to, yeah, but
did you just whale noise?
lately I'm kind of slowing down now.
That was me trying to do whale noise, but I just could not think.
Oh, I
You
love
try.
it. I love everything about it.
You try. Yeah. But yeah, I was just wondering, like, is it worth trying to? Is it worth getting all of them? Because I usually just go
No.
only for the
It's not
2,000.
worth spending a goddamn dime.
Like if you're happy just staying like free to play, go for it, dude.
Who said I was?
Spending money to get PNGs that have an Excel spreadsheet.
It's not
attached
even
to 'em.
PNGs, it's
not fucking
numbers,
worth it.
dude. It's not PNGs, it's numbers.
It's never worth it. Don't spend money on kids. Just get a hobby that's not like a trading card game or a digital collectible thing. Like, do drugs. It's so much cheaper.
No,
Holy shit.
no. Do not
Action's
encourage.
digital crack.
No,
I mean,
no.
yeah, you're already essentially like being addicted to dopamine. Like, at least be addicted to something fun. Like, I don't know, like mushrooms. Like, at least then you can have a real spiritual existence, you know? We do not endorse illicit drugs. No, it's just food. This is just the opinion of Fort Misery Gaming, and this is the official opinion of Fort Misery Gaming. It is cheaper to have a drug habit.
Okay, we'll do. And okay, no, oh dear. Moving on. Okay, well then. So what?
Out of the VOD.
Oh my god. We're just gonna have competing options up. Do we keep this part out or not? We'll see.
Keep it. I mean, it's. Do people really? I mean, okay, listen. Just don't do drugs, okay?
I'm just gonna blast that immediately after Spoot said the other thing.
I was told to do drugs. Yes. No, you were told to do drugs instead of playing gotchas because it would be cheaper in the long run.
No, not health-wise. No.
Okay. No.
That was the official Spoot statement.
Oh my god. Anyways, okay, so now that we talked about new banners, what about rerun banners? When is a good time to do rerun banners? Actually,
Never.
whenever. We've done a
Name
rerun
one
banner.
rerun banner that you want to see that has something useful in it.
I want my combo weapons. I need my whirlpool sword and bow of wilderness. I've been crying for it for so long because I missed out on them. But no, that's just me. But no, rerun kind of typically sucks.
Even if this doesn't go into the official podcast, I still want a Twitch clip of me just yelling about drugs for 50 seconds.
Oh,
I think that is sick.
Okay, well I'll clip that out for you and I'll give it to you and you can keep it. You can immortalize
Absolutely,
it.
I'm all about it. I'm just
Awesome.
gonna play it on my stream for like the next 6 weeks, just being like, just do drugs. It's fine.
Oh my god. Monthly banners are technically rerun banners, FYI. Oh, that is true. Actually, that is true. Yeah, that's true. It's true. Yeah, I also haven't seen a nightmare
Monthly.
in a banner.
Sorry.
Wait, no! I haven't also seen a nightmare in a banner recently.
So the thing that they try to avoid, because it was really prevalent early on, and it gets less prevalent as the game goes, is that it depends on your rate ups. So on average, when the game started, there were 5 items on rate up: 1 nightmare, 1 S weapon, and 3 SRs. And occasionally, you have these wild ass banners where you have like 4 SRs in a nightmare on rate up. So you're not getting what you are hunting, no matter what you do. Good luck.
Here's an orb!
Yes. You want MLB an orb? Is that what you want to do this week?
Here's an orb! Do you want an orb? I got an orb for you.
Yeah, because like
My orb grid is coming together.
Very shortly we're going to start seeing like a huge jump in buyable nightmares, like 2 or 3 times a month. Because like Dryas has a color every color now, I think, with the 2 holiday ones.
Ah.
So like a lot of the payable ones you'll see like a lot of, and different versions of, and different upgrades of. It's terrifying.
Yeah, I guess in my sense, I just kind of want new nightmares just because right now, I I just call out and see the same nightmare over and over again in call
You
out.
don't want to get wind golem trapped?
I got wind golem trapped today twice during SP Kalo.
So proud of you.
Thanks. But
You know, man, getting wind golem basilisk trapped is like my favorite thing in existence. It's the best.
But like I just see the same nightmare over and over again. I'm like, can I please have some variety? Please? Please, I just want new variety in nightmares. Please.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I mean, there's always meta nightmares. Like if you look at how many nightmares are like must casts versus how many are like I mean, we throw this out because we ran through our guaranteed ones and now we just have to have something.
Yeah. Actually,
Basically, all the paid nightmares except for School of Fish, School of Toto.
Yeah.
Can I get Dryas Nightmare rerun, please? Because I'm looking at I think I looked at the
Didn't they
Sinnoh.
rerun her for anniversary?
I think they did.
Yeah, they
'cause
did.
She got voted. She was the highest.
Yeah, she did twice, and I missed them both times. I just went with
Oh,
Kone.
That's a you problem now.
I'm s-
They
Please,
did rerun. That's a you problem now.
but
proud of you.
man, I the first nightmare that I bought was Rikone, and now I kind of regret not buying Dryas or Yuno. No, I need the stats. I don't even need the
own-
effect. I just need the stats because I
own
think
all of
Dryas
them
has
but
high
CC
stats.
And was Maggie a purchase? Magia?
No,
She wasn't? Okay, so the
No.
only one
No,
I don't own
Princess
is...
was from the banners.
That's right. So there's I don't own CC and there's another one that I don't own that's like a buffer and I don't remember which one it is.
you
Ulysses?
Ulysses?
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds right.
It's the butterfly one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ulysses.
But yeah, I think I just bought the recent banner for. I don't even know why. I was just trying to get the crystals. The most recent banner. No, the most recent nightmare. The paid wind golem. Wind golem? Basilisk?
I think it's Basilisk.
Basilisk. Yeah. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, because if you guys are already tired of seeing dudes that interact with your nightmare timers, there are more coming. The copy nightmare is one of my favorite ones.
The one that copy the effects of your enemy's nightmare?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can cast the same nightmare twice.
But yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's,
So,
that's really good.
It's insane because you'll have them cast Poppy, and then you're like, all right, well I'll copy that Poppy.
And then you play
I'm
your
gonna
own
cast
Poppy?
Poppy again.
Oh my god!
You heard me.
Oh my that and then can't wait. Okay, I guess that goes into the logistics later on. What if I end up just wind goleming your Poppy? Or first one?
Then it will copy whatever comes out when it's active.
What if it's nothing?
Well, then nothing happens.
Cool, that's the one way around it.
That-
Awesome.
If you want to get down into casting for seconds, good luck.
Damn it.
Some people are really good at it, other people are not. I am not very good at it. Because people say numbers to me and my eyes start to bleed.
Well, you guys were talking about numbers before, and I just look at you
I
and
can
I'm
go
just
with,
I don't know what numbers mean.
Oh, come on, man. If somebody's like, hey, Pokolabo made $1 million, they're like, yep, I can commit that to memory. I feel like that's something I can remember.
When?
The first 6 months, they made at least $2 million a month. The first month, they made a lot more than that, but I don't remember the exact numbers.
I see.
They didn't drop off of making at bare minimum $1 million a month until New Year's. That's when it started kind of fading.
Yeah, I think with yeah. I also, if anybody noticed, literally, wait, yeah. Also, if
Yeah,
anyone,
Mega Shield was
Mega Shield 25%
Mega
of
Shield was a
2.
lot of it. That dude,
Oh dear. But yeah,
I love that guy.
there was. Wait. I'm running out of thoughts.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I don't. No. Oh wait, yeah. I was. Wait. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for let's say for example for me pulling for classes and stats kind of thing. I have let's say for example I have for the not royal account I'm only pulling on I'm only pulling for M attack right now for M attack classes. And if I can can get Arcana, I can get Arcana. But at the same time, I'm like, wait, so shouldn't I also pull for maybe a class that would potentially give me P-Def too? Because if I'm only pulling for M attack, I only get really M def. And so like I was looking because when I'm right now like planning for strategy for my matches, I just pretty much notice a lot of M attack paladins have low P attack, like P def. And then after for crushers have low M def, and I'm just like, just target them. Just target them.
Yep, that's
well, the other thing
something that's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thing you have to take into account is like HP totals matter. It doesn't seem like they do, but HP matters like a lot.
Oh, so I should also roll for HP?
It's
for vanguards typically, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't want to die in one hit.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty huge because like you getting one shot versus you needing 2 attacks is pretty huge.
Did you know that if you run out of
shovel.
Yes.
Shovels!
Did you know that when you run out of HP, you die?
Healers.
There's your tip for the week.
Healer, where are my healers? Oh wait, there's a small pool of healers right now.
But typically as a vanguard, you kind of focus on attack and HP. I mean, defense is also good, right? But at the same time, it's something you get afterthought. Like, oh, it's like, okay, I have
get
like,
HP
spare.
from ranking, so like that's a big deal. So like where like you'll notice that support classes tend to be a slightly lower rank. Like we don't get as much benefit outside of cost, and eventually cost is just it's there and it doesn't matter anymore because like you're only going to be able to adjust to like 20 to 25 costs. So like a lot of people, that's why the infinite weapons are just there, so you can get those as high as you humanly possibly can.
Yeah.
As a big fat JJYMayo, yeah, I just primarily focus on attacks that the HP is incidental and defense is also incidental. So I would not pay too much attention to HP, at least like not as much as attack, because in my mind, if you're able to one-shot your enemy, it doesn't matter how much HP they have.
That is true.
Just knock down your enemy.
Yeah, that is my focus too. The same way Chiaki does for me, because attack first, and then HP is kind of afterthought when it's like, oh, I have spare medals.
For Vanguard, attack is king. Like, there's no way around that. There's a reason.
Yeah, the
why
way attack scales compared to HP, you get more benefit from increasing attack than increasing HP.
Yeah, the returns on attack are so much. It's like the reason why Sorks are in such high demand right now.
Really? I was looking for minstrels.
A good team of Sorks will absolutely... Like, minstrels are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm a minstrel. I rep my boys. Sorks are way more important.
Oh.
Like, once you get defense down, if their minstrels can't keep up with you and you start ticking away at their offense, having a team that is not only taking the most damage but doing no damage at all to you comparatively is just there's nothing like it. It feels so good.
Yeah.
It feels so bad when you have blue attack. It feels so bad.
Yeah.
You're gonna slap people with pasta? That's how it works.
Oh god. Yeah, just dealing like half my expected damage is just
But
yeah, also with attack, like some of if you have enough high attack, what could happen is, especially with DC proc, even if like you get the highest amount of HP in the game, if you get hit with a DC2 proc, like, you know, an attack that's got multiple DC2 procs, it can exceed even the highest HP pull in the game. Like, there have been multiple times where I've done over 100k. There have been times where I've done 400k across 2 targets. So attack just scales that much better than HP.
Absolutely, and that's not even counting, like, crit hits absolutely exist mechanically. Like, that's a thing that exists in the game. So like,
500k with shovel.
Well, so I forget what the activation rate on him is, but there is an RNG to critting. But essentially, it is just a one-shot. Like, it doesn't matter how much HP you have, you can randomly
It's
just
your
die.
exact HP.
Oh.
Critical is your exact HP.
Oh.
And, like, that's existed in the game since day one, so people were like... So, whales the first week were like...
It was a lot more noticeable early on.
Oh, yeah, you don't see it as much now because, like, HP totals don't match attack totals at all, which is, to Chiaki's point, like, attack scales so high.
Yeah. I
But
don't...
watching people, like, especially when you're in a lower guild, like, being able to, like, just crit somebody randomly that's got, like, 6,000-7,000 more stats.
I remember
you're
people complaining about it so much early on.
Well, it exists that if you have two exactly even guilds, that,
it's to kind of change up the pace of the match.
Yeah, it's supposed to give a break, and they're supposed to apply evenly. I don't know how true that is or not. I've heard that from several people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to get X amount per. So I don't know. But that's defense has always been king on attacking or on defense, obviously. But it doesn't matter how much HP or defense they have. If you're doing their HP total in one hit, like, just do it. Just hit them.
Wait, what am I supposed to roll on as a sword? Because I've just been looking at people's banner reviews and
that is whatever you're specialized on. If you're specialized on one, then whatever you're specialized on. Otherwise, it's just like you go more for the
You go for defense down right now, though attack downs will eventually start making up the difference, but defense down right now has a higher value. Because them taking more damage is always more important than them doing less damage to you.
Having good weapon too. So if you haven't finished your weapon grid, like, still, and you want different flexibility, so like having a specialized one against P attack, having a specialized one against M attack, those things, and then specialized defense downs for your guild, and then like a farming grid. I think as a sorc/minstrel, those are kind of more important to you.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Huh. Because I have a lot of P attack debuff, but I don't have many like M attack.
Yeah, see, but then how efficient are you then when you're fighting against an M attack guild? Right? So that's
the other
something
thing
to
you
keep
want
in
to
mind.
concern yourself with is like for minstrels, for example, like Sunlight Flute, even though the stats on it aren't super good, the effect of the Sunlight Flute, like the actual activatable effect, is huge compared to other parts of it. Like, its modifiers are massive. But a lot of people don't run it because it doesn't have the same stats, so you're taking like a CP hit to run it. So it's not always like which one of these has better numbers. Like, you have to take modifiers into account too. Like, that's a massive numbers game.
Yeah, like how Vanguards, if you're M attack Vanguard, even though, say, Scissors or Transients, they don't have the best M attack stat, the effect that they have when the Bell Nightmare is up is insane. Like, even the Snow White Election Spear, stat-wise, it's not very good in comparison to the more recent weapons, but the effect is still very viable.
It hits like a truck when the effect is active. Well, like when Shovel came out, people got terrified that they were going to get shoveled, and it's true. Y'all got shoveled.
Everyone is still terrified of getting shoveled. Yes?
Like,
It's a major peanut fear.
It's a peanut night.
it's always a peanut fear. Good old Nut Daddy.
I still need the limit break banners so that I can get max limit break.
Just be
shovel.
careful on limit break banners, because they're only adding like one weapon per class right now, and some of them aren't super great unless you're doing specific chasing.
I'll just keep throwing the shovel in because I have a shovel. I'll just keep throwing the shovel in there and then I'll use it in the future. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I got I was specifically maxing out Heatwave, so
Yeah.
because Heatwave is like an okay modifier, but if you're down at all during a match, you go, sweet, I'm doing like 3 minstrels worth of work in one weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. I think actually. Oh well, yeah. I think that's actually all I have in terms of question. The other thing was basically hypothetical planning, unless anybody has final comments. hypothetical planning, but I don't even know if we'll be able to do hypothetical planning, because hypothetical planning was basically, all right, so in the 14 days before and after a major event, what should happen in the game? But yeah, that's
I mean, I think we've sort of run
Yeah.
the gamut on it, like, because one, Pokelabo is going to have its schedule. It's going to do at least, so you've got maybe 2 medal events a month. You've got probably 1 guild event a month. Just, I would argue probably 2, because that
You
seems.
just don't want
be
to tell
the-
us outright.
I know.
I mean, I can't tell you. I wish I could.
I wish I could tell you too, just so that
I just
Pokelabo.
react as each event comes out and consider what the event is. So if
Yeah,
it's,
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, like if it's shooting gallery, it's like, okay, you go ham with the purification tickets and stuff on that one because it has so many resources that you can't farm outside of that. Armor event, I would continue farming it even though, like I think a lot of people may just farm it to get all the story participation bonuses, but I continue farming it when I can because of the fact we have L armor out now, and people underestimate the usefulness of armor for conquest. Conquests, I only farm it if it's got a hard mode because of cores. Otherwise, just farm it till you get all the calendar bonuses. And I think everything else you just farm until you get all the story participation bonuses, or you get all the stuff you can buy from the metal exchange, and then that's it.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Because like resources are secondary, but if they have like a class or arcanas you can get out of them, just like shoot for the moon on that stuff.
But then also, like in the future, we'll also have like the raid events, as Izzy has mentioned before, and then that will be also part of our pool of events that we're not sure what's gonna happen.
I'll probably apply the same approach as it has with Conquest with Raid. It's like, do as much as you can, but if it's locked, if it's time gated, you can only do it so many times. So do this time gated stuff first, and then do the stuff that's not so time gated. As you take that as second priority. That's all you can do when they don't give us a, full schedule of like, this is what you can expect for the month.
When you have a 24-hour turnaround, which honestly is ass for content creation.
It is.
Because so they usually release them in like the middle of the day when I'm working, so I get home and I'm like, okay, this is really cool. Did they put it up on the website? And if they did, it's great. And if they didn't, I'm screwed because I can't make a video until like 3 a.m. my time.
The one time that they were like, hey, we're gonna I think like a couple weeks ago, they were like, oh, they're promoting like a new banner coming out and the developers notes were not available. It's just like, huh, where are the developers notes? Where'd they go?
The wild thing is like when they, because like I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of my videos from a couple of months ago, back before when we didn't know if a banner would get changed, like me, Tachi, and Bork, basically at every beginning of every video are like, this is likely to change, but here's what the JP weapons do.
So
Which
many
is
weapons
not
got
a
nerfed.
good look.
Yeah. Everything's getting nerfed. Here, this is what we could have. But we probably won't have this.
Well, I mean, and sometimes, like, we've got some very odd weapons buffed. Yeah, like, I will 100%. But, like, when we had the Devil and Popula staff nerf, like, everybody was like, it was just a Mexican standoff for, like, 3 days. Everybody was like, what? Guy? What? Hold on. And then you had the Three Little Pigs cleric that was the first class with cost up on it, got turned into a 5-step instead of the 3-step. And I thought the Reddit was going to melt.
That brings up a good point. The fact that all of our
5 steps are back? 5 steps are back, baby!
Yes! Well, that, and we also, like, the class, Chiaki mentioned it on one of her previous streams, but, like, the Sin classes, everything but Snow, and another class was, here's 300, go and roll, as opposed to step. Like, why? Why is that? Why we have no step?
It's just how it works, man. They don't want to, like, honestly, I don't have a logistical reason why they can't just make everything a step banner.
I was gonna say that. I was like,
there's no logical reason.
They want to bait the people who just want the class no matter what.
Oh yeah, they're baiting waifu
Yeah.
hunters? Rough. Rough.
That's a large population there.
me.
That's a large population there. Like, I know that, like, one of my members is like, I'm just gonna roll for Snow and I'm gonna roll for Rapunzel and nothing else. I don't care if it's I don't care if it's a book that I actually will need. I'm just gonna roll for these two classes, and I'm
Can
just
you
like,
imagine having like the
okay.
good taste to be like, I'm gonna hunt Rapunzels, and then you're also having this questionable taste of, I'm gonna go hunt Snow White. For those of you that haven't watched me in a very long time, I've been a Snow White hater since day one.
oh no!
Oh, you must have hated the
Election.
was it the popularity poll? Yeah.
Coming? They did it. She got a new class. They're like 3 years running.
Wait, when is the next popularity contest? Because I want to know.
Probably soon.
It'll
Because
be November, December. Probably
Cool.
end of November after Thanksgiving if I were taking a wild
Yeah, I
guess.
wouldn't be surprised if it's annual.
Can I get a red, please? Red or Alice?
wasn't Red second place and Little
Think-
Mermaid third place? I
Why
think?
didn't they? Why
Yeah.
couldn't they just make new? Why couldn't they just make new classes for the top 3? Why did they have to make it for the number 1?
Well, because they're
Because if you're not first, you're last, JJ.
Excuse me. At least you're not like the 3 little pigs at the very bottom. I think they're at the
Hey,
very
I want
bottom.
more Three Little Pigs. They have the best animation in the game.
They really do.
Considering there's not very much animation in the game.
I like the Three Little Pigs animation actually.
Okay.
So like, I think my favorite one is the Half Nightmare Red Riding Hood because she like walks. She does the walk like an Egyptian at the end of a round. She just like starts moving her arms back and forth. I'm like, okay, that's
Oh yes.
that's the most low effort animation I've ever seen, but you got me. I'm about it.
There you go. Just make Red Riding Hood banners for spirits. Got it.
They only did in the last one in JP. They did 6th place, so I'm like, I'm proud of JP. They knew what everybody was about.
Yeah. Anyways, we're actually winding down to the last 10 minutes. Does anyone else have any other question they want to ask? Or comments?
Why am I like this?
We'll just...
Can anybody actually answer that question? Does anybody know why I'm like this?
You mean like you're... Wait, what? I can't tell if you meant literally as like, here's the... Here.
As a human being, why am I like this?
Be-
Just start screaming? Okay.
just screaming into the void. We'll just...
Ah.
What the heck happened? Oh dear. Yeah. Any other final comments for Sky and Chiaki?
We are good.
Chiaki, what are you having for breakfast?
I
just
will
woke
go
up.
raid the fridge for a yogurt squeezy.
Alright, I can respect that. I gotta cook dinner. I'm making Alfredo.
Damn it! The contrast between Alfredo and a yogurt squeezy.
I mean, you could have Alfredo for breakfast. I wouldn't hate on that, but like, I wouldn't have leftover Alfredo for breakfast because it doesn't like reheat the same way, so it's not as good.
I see.
What's 1 plus 1? 2. 2, I got this.
Oh my
Two.
god. But yeah, does chat have anything to ask?
What do you got, chat? What's on your mind?
I had a remark that I was gonna make, but I completely forgot because
It's
koala
early.
brain.
Koala bear.
Was it about banner train? Was it about events? Was it about planning? Was it about
Good old drop bear.
drop rates? Was it about medals? Was it about the fact that Labo should definitely restock the vials shop so that I can get another like drop vial, please?
Shit, they still haven't done that, have they?
No! Please
I forgot
restock
that was
the
even a
vial
problem.
shop.
Pokélabo. What the fuck?
My gosh. Like, free-to-play players, please, like, they sometimes maybe rely on that vial. Especially for shooting gallery. Because that's like a 30-minute vial, isn't it? 30-minute vial?
Purchasable ones that you either get, I think you get a 30 and a 10. but
Yeah.
Maybe only a 30.
Those are useful. The only other way to get it is to roll on a banner. I think. And I don't know if they're actually going to continue with that.
It totally escaped me.
No!
Alright. If it was important, you'll remember it in like 20 minutes and be like, breakfast.
Breakfast.
I think just to summarize, like, my main complaints about the game right now is bad communication, just non-consumer friendly practices. Like, give some discounts, okay? Just give some discounts. And where are the BOGOs? I think that's kind of basically it.
Oh, and our anniversary was very short too.
Well, they didn't have a whole lot to give us.
Oh,
so,
and
you know.
just the event spread, like, it's just it's awful.
If you're
Yeah.
gonna shotgun events this rapidly, you gotta keep the economy up. I ain't spending money on this game anymore.
Like,
Uh.
collab events should not clash with seasonal events this much.
Yeah. We had Swimsuit followed by Yukata, and now we have Gem Company, which, in my opinion, compared to the other collab events that people were data mining, saying that it was going to be this, it was going to be this, having Gem Company, in my opinion, was the better option, because a lot of us just going to be like, alright, I guess we skip now. So we can save for the...
Could you imagine having an entire banner of idols, and there's not one of them is a minstrel?
Oh yeah. That was weird.
Like, they have weapons that look like minstrel weapons, but they're not minstrel weapons.
Pretty much.
I was upset.
I'm so
It
sorry.
just doesn't make sense to me that they throw out banners sometimes that just get overshadowed, or like they just get looked at and be like, yeah, I'm a skip. It does the IP dirty. Like, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, I didn't appreciate that they threw Rose Maiden in between ReZero and Nier. Like, what if I'm a fan of all that stuff? Like, give love to all of them. Like, if you're not gonna get a lot of it because you're gonna treat it that way, just don't do it. Just delay it then.
But then after, like, they keep saying how, like, the IP, like, when they release the IP is dependent on the IP holder as well. But
So
I
having
feel like
having
that
having been
sounds
sponsored by a bunch of companies that do gotchas, like, there is some truth to that, and they're not always held to like literal calendar dates. They're usually ranges, because you have to do it before the IP agreement folds, because not all IP agreements from JP carry over to global. Sometimes those things have to be renegotiated because they are releasing in different regions. But it's more of guidelines. They're not always calendar dates. So like when they're like, no, we had to do it on this date, it's true maybe to a point, but it's not truthful in the entire sense, I guess.
I feel
is
like
the
they
way
could
I
have
would put it.
negotiated it more, because like at that point they were prioritizing the IP over, you know, the player kind of
Yeah,
experience,
and
I guess.
not talking down to any of Rosen Maiden fans, because you guys seem very passionate about Rosen Maiden. It's one of those things where like it came and went, and I was like, well, that was something I didn't care about. Now, being fair, that's me for most collabs.
yeah, there's also I think there's also just like, okay, so for the like if it's not an IP holder, then what about like the JP collab, like the JP global events? Like, couldn't they have also like readjusted it so that it wouldn't clash in between two other major events?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was this was kind of like a little bit of poor planning, kind of. I think we can agree that like around the anniversary had a little bit of poor planning, I guess. For
This was
Pokolabasine,
Pokolabo going, I'm going to hit the money button now.
Literally after saying that instance will not happen again. Then it
listen,
happened again.
if they don't make money, they shut down, and people really enjoy the game, and I get both sides of it. But like, a business is here to do business. Like that's the end. That's the end. Like, period. That's it.
If that does happen, why don't you just move all the global players to JP?
Well, because I can't read Japanese, JJ. I don't know if you know this. I just can't do it. I can barely read English.
I put limit. No comment there. But like, that's all. That's me. I don't know. I have no comment there.
Oh, we are nearing time.
We are nearing time. Yeah. Does anybody want to do a final outro and like advertise your platforms before we go?
Chiaki, you're up.
Why am I first?
Because you're.
Well, We'll do it backwards this
I
time.
did
around.
backwards dibs. You get it. It's reverse Uno. You win.
Alright, yeah, so thank you guys for listening in. Hope you enjoyed it. Even though it was a bit haphazard and I was really tired, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you want to check me out, you can check me out on Twitch. I'm actually gonna keep streaming. Gonna be streaming a different game though. So feel free. I'll be playing Final Fantasy 14. Gotta.
Oh, hell yeah! What's there? Oh yeah, you're in an Aussie server, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm not moving to Oceanic because I'm scared. No, because I have a house in JP, and I'm also scared of like.
A lot
if I
of
go
people
to
are having that like scare right now. Don't feel bad.
No, I'm scared that if I go to Oceanic, like because I came from a JP server, if I go to Oceanic and I play with players who are used to NA stuff, it's gonna piss me off. I have my bias against NA players. Sorry.
Wow.
But yeah, I stream on Twitch, and if I am able to get to it, I also sometimes upload videos on YouTube. So feel free to check me out on YouTube. And yeah, thank you for listening once again, and have a great day and take care.
And is that me? I'm SkyJLV. I usually stream on Twitch, mostly a variety of gacha games and coming in JRPGs. But yeah, I've been mostly active on there. My YouTube is kind of like just kind of on life support, but you know, Twitch though I'm pretty active. So you know what? I'm just gonna see you guys on Twitch. That's it.
Okay, I'm next. Thank you everybody for dropping by and watching for the stream today. I hope it was, if not knowledge educational, but a fun podcast for you. If you missed out or just joined us today, we will be posting the edited VOD video version of it on our YouTube channel, the SINoALICE World Creator YouTube channel later on.
Totally edited version.
This totally edited version, which I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna cut out later on, but we'll see exactly what happens.
Oh, I have a couple of ideas.
All right, but yeah, I usually stream on Twitch, on the same channel that you're currently watching this in. I stream generally a variety of games, which includes Genshin, SINoALICE, Shadowverse. I haven't streamed SINoALICE as of recently. I might do so next week because I probably will be streaming the Gem Company event on my free to play. But yeah, someone asked the guild that I was basing against today in SP Kalo was like, I'm looking forward to your video of today's match, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to record it. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I'll do my best to continue streaming and recording matches. So yeah, thank you for coming by. And now we have Spoot.
Hi guys, it's Spoot from Fort Misery Gaming. You know me. I'm like the littlest babyest brother for everybody. We do Twitch. We usually do. Right now, the only gachas we're covering are like, we do some Alchemy Stars and SINo like 3 or 4 times a month, but YouTube's basically dried up for us. And then I stream whenever I remember to, so I'll play whatever I feel like playing. Although off stream, I'm playing the shit out of Final Fantasy 14 like Chiaki, so you know, it's fun. And that's it. You can check me out on Twitter or stuff. I don't know. Good luck. Take care of everybody.
Yeah, thank you everybody for dropping by. There's a thunderstorm happening right outside my house right now. What?
Flee! Run!
I'm in the house.
Yeet!
Yeet! I mean, like,
like,
I still need to eat. What if I put my chicken outside of the... Wait, never mind. I never say
It
anything.
doesn't
Please
take very long for chicken to cook if it gets hit by lightning. I will give you that heads up.
Alright, cool. That's good to know because I need to eat. Anyways, tune in next month for our next SINoALICE World Creator podcast. I think the theme has been decided for that one. Not exactly the crew yet. But yeah, it probably won't be hosted on my channel. It will probably hosted on someone else's channel. But yeah, tune in there. Also remember to check out, if you do play SINoALICE, to also check out everyone here and also complete the survey and use their code. And we also recently had a PokeLabo recently helped us by creating a special tab for us, actually, in the SINoALICE global website. So there is a calendar there if you are interested in checking out any of the world creators and checking out when they're streaming. That was a mouthful. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, you did it. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. I think that's about it, unless I forgot anything. But otherwise, thank you everybody for dropping by today. It was very much appreciated. I hope you have a safe and healthy day. Remember to eat. Remember to stay hydrated. Remember to social distance, and also don't do drugs. Please do not do drugs. Do
Don't come
not.
over to my channel.
Digital or
completely.
cardboard crack.
Yeah. Do not. Do not do drugs. That is.
Here's the worst thing. You start playing Magic the Gathering tomorrow.
Do not do drugs.
That is a whole nother. Okay, you know what? Just cut it off right now.
Anyways, I'll see you all later. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye.
Later.
GG, thank you, bye bye.